Good morning. Welcome to St. George and Dixie State's Bruce Hurst Field for this morning's 9 o'clock game of the 3A State Baseball Championships presented by Leschwab Tires. At this time, we ask you to all please rise and join us as we play the national anthem. How you doing? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time to announce the batting orders for both teams, starting first with the visiting team for this game, designated as the Snow Canyon Warriors. The head coach for Snow Canyon, Ray Seifert, principal of Snow Canyon High School, is Warren Brooks. Now the batting lineup for the Warriors. Batting first, the starting pitcher.
Welcome to Bruce Hurst Field for the 3A semifinal game between the Snow Canyon Warriors and the hosting Cedar City Redmond squad here. We have got absolutely beautiful conditions today. Perfect for championship baseball. The winner of this game will be facing the Pineview Panthers for the potential state championship game. Both teams came off impressive games yesterday. Snow Canyon had to get a couple of wins to get to this game today, and Cedar played a very tight game against Pineview. Came up with a 5-2 deficit, but left 12 men on base. And now back into this, since they had the winning bracket, they are in this consolation bracket today, and will play a very hot Snow Canyon team who has had their bats a-going. I tell you what, they have been hitting the ball, and they've been really capitalizing and making sure people do not get left on base at the end of the innings, as Cedar did this last game. So it'll be interesting to see how this all falls out today. It ought to be a very good game. A little bit of a small crowd, and again, it is 9 o'clock in the morning. So I guess that's part of the factor here. I'm Mike Butler, and joined today again on Scalooza.com, here on DeseretNews.com and KSL.com. Good to be part of the Deseret Digital Media Network. Ought to be a very enjoyable game. We'll see. Again, one of the challenges certainly for Snow Canyon, they have played 2 extra games so far. Cedar has played just 2 games, and Snow Canyon has played 4 games in this playoff. And pitchers are only allowed to pitch 14 total innings in a week, and so one of these, a little bit of a challenge as to how many, for Coach Reed Seacrest, how many innings he'll be allowed to let certain people go today. And you cannot go past that 14 inning limit. Both teams now having some final instructions from their managers, and the Cedar Redmond are ready to take the field. For the Redmond, Josh Boyer will be the catcher. Riker Tom at third base. Trey Esplin, second base. Brecken Lewis will be at first base today. He was the pitcher yesterday. Johnny Jenkins, the designated hitter. Dusty Hanna out in right field. Ryan Slack at third base. Braden Lathan in left field. Kyler Cara Sosa is on the mound today. We'll see how number 6 does. His left-handed. He's not pitched so far in this tournament. And Brock Oldroyd out in center field for the Redmen. Cara Sosa has he's had a nice tournament as a position player, and he's had a couple of big hits. Looks like he has a lively fastball, so we'll see him do his thing today as he'll be facing Jake Sargent right off the bat here. Jake will also be pitching today for the Warriors. Austin Deming will be on deck, and Brady Sargent in the hole, who again is the catcher. So we'll have brother throwing to brother here for the Warriors. So we are getting ready to go. Leading off in the top of the first inning, Jake Sargent. Get into the batter's box, a couple of practice swings, and we are underway for the 3A semifinals. First pitch, called strike, fastball on the outside corner. Nice pitch. So southpaw. Second pitch, one hopper, and it is going to slip right past Esplin's hand. That's going to be, we'll see if they give him an error on that. That looked like that was a playable ball, but no, they give him a hit instead. So just like that, Jake Sargent on first base, and we will bring up Austin Deming. Yesterday, Deming 0 for 3. See what kind of lead Sargent gets off of first base. Carasosa will be able to look at him, and the first shot right past the third baseman. And just like that, back-to-back hits for Snow Canyon. That'll took Sargent at second and Deming on first base. And boy, oh boy, this is what we talked about. This Snow Canyon team has had incredibly hot bats here in this in the last 4 games, averaging about 9 to 10 runs a game. They gave a 10-run rule, 11-1 against Bear River last night. And now the big gun was with Brady Sargent. Sargent getting a lot of love both statewide and even nationally. He didn't get a lot of opportunities yesterday, and he's kind of looks like he may at least face a bunt. Most pitchers are not interested in throwing Sargent anything too sweet, as he'll knock it out of here. Curveball. Boy, just a nice pitch right there. Got the corner. Carasosa, only a junior. Now 2-1 count. Runners on first and second. Slow curveball. Gets right past Sargent there. Sargent looking for fastball there. Outfielders straight away. Another breaking ball. Now full count. He saw a lot of curveballs yesterday, a lot of things on the outside corners and outside of the plate. He had 2 walks. Here's the payoff pitch, and Sargent hits it high. It should be potentially an infield fly, but Esplin is able to pull it down for the first out. Runners stay in their positions. Nick Dulce, the cleanup hitter for the Warriors. Another left-handed hitter for Snow Canyon. Coach Reed Seacrest, who have been with that Warrior organization for a long time. And they have had a very successful program at, there in that St. George, Santa Clara area. No wind. You can see Old Glory out there in center field. The limp. Lefty matchup and first pitch. Catches the outside corner for strike one. Sargent at second and Deming at first. Just a freshman. He's got a great future here. As now they throw it back to second base. Deming just a freshman starting at shortstop for the Warriors. That's a pretty impressive feat in and of itself. Again, for sure, 2 games today on the Deseret News and potentially 3. Here's the pitch, fouled away. Yesterday, Dulce won for 2, and then he got on an error, scored 1 time. Scored 1 run for Snow Canyon. Here's the left-handed pitch, slow curveball. Throw to second, 1, and cannot get the double play. Really nice play that time by Lewis. Got the ball over to Riker Tom, and then it couldn't quite turn the double play, but that does get Deming out for the second out. So Dulce on a fielder's choice. That moves Sargent to third. Now Brad Grisenti, the designated hitter. At his first appearance of the day. Grisenti 1 for 3, but had a 2 RBI single to kind of break this game open for the Warriors yesterday. Beautiful pitch that time for strike 2. 1-2, 2 outs. Warriors look like they have, and still certainly could be threatening here with a runner on first and third. Grisenti shot out to left field, heading back, and it's going to get over the head of the center fielder. That's going to score 1, and it's going to score 2 as Grisenti goes all the way to third base. Wow, what a shot that was. 2 out shot for Grisenti. I will give him a double, and then he went to third on the throw. But that scores Jake Sargent, and it scores Dulce. Dulce went from first all the way around. And just like that, like we said, we've seen a lot of 2-out rallies for the Warriors, and they have continued that in this already in this game. Huge shot. Already 3 hits for this Snow Canyon team. As Chance Thorkelson steps into the plate. He had a nice game yesterday, including a pair of doubles, scoring 2 times. And had 2 RBIs. He's anxious to get 1 more right here as he takes an outside pitch now, and it is 2-0. Thorkelson plays right field for Snow Canyon. Kara Sosa, left-handed, throws it right past Thorkelson there to go 2-1. So a huge shot by Grisenti, scoring 2 on that on his first at bat. Thorkelson chases on that one. Can't catch up with that. Now 2-2 with 2 outs. Outfield playing a little bit to right field as Thorkelson goes down swinging. But not after 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Great opening start for Snow Canyon. And we'll be back right.
Say no to gym intimidation. Say yes to Planet Fitness. We're not a gym, we're Planet Fitness.
Your locally owned and operated Planet Fitness is a proud sponsor of our amazing high school athletic programs.
Bottom of the first inning, Cedar's already behind a little bit as a 2-run triple for Brad Grisenti opened up the Warriors lead to 2-0. On the hill for Snow Canyon, Logan Opdahl, left-handed pitcher, so we got a pair of southpaws today. Have not seen Opdahl in the previous 3 games. He will face the catcher Josh Boyer. Bruce Hurst failed the setting, St. George, Utah for the 3A semifinal baseball game. You can also see the semifinals and finals in softball here from Utah's Dixie. You can check both streams out at the same time. That game will be starting in just a couple of minutes. First pitch to Boyer, called strike. Now, I guess the first pitch was just outside, so now a 2-0 count. No, excuse me, we were correct, 1-1. Boyer flies it out to the center fielder. And Opdahl able to bring that in. So 1 out. Riker Tom, the shortstop, batting second in the order today. Riker's had a nice tournament, even a pair of singles yesterday against Bear River. Excuse me, against Pineview. Riker wearing number 9. And just a junior. Turns and hits a ball down the left field line. Count now 1-1. Opdahl kind of with almost a full turn as he almost has his back to the plate as he prepares to deliver. Now 2-1 count. Make that 3-1. Tom fouls up out of play to load up the count. 3-2, 1 out. No one on base for Cedar in their opening at bat today. 3-2 pitch, curveball, fouled. Hits the top stands over there on the first base side. Still full count to Tom. And he takes a shot, and it may hit the gap. And it is. It's going to go all the way to the fence, and Tom's going to go stand up to second. Beautiful shot by Riker Tom with a stand-up double on a full count. Just a couple of feet away from Opdahl bringing that in. And one bouncer to the fence puts Tom in scoring position at second base for the left-handed hitter Trey Esplin. Esplin, who is a second baseman for the Redmen. Esplin also a junior, so this team is going to be loaded next year as well. Esplin on the south side, so lefty-lefty matchup. And he takes the first pitch for a called strike. 2-0 lead for Snow Canyon. Top of the first from a Grisenti two-run triple. Esplin tries to go down the left field line, hits it foul. Now a little behind in 0-2. Fastball misses, low and away. Esplin 1 for 2 yesterday and a walk. He's looking at signals from Coach Eric Fieldstein. Now steps back into the box. Jake Sargent pitch. And it's going to be a shot to the left fielder, and it's just hung up there long enough for the second out. Jacob Fry able to corral that in. Now 2 outs. It looked like it had a shot to drop for just a minute, but kind of died. And easy catch that time for Fry. Now Brecken Lewis, the cleanup hitter. He's playing first base here. He was a pitcher yesterday. We have seen his power as he has hit some booming shots, including a home run. Lewis, nice shot to left field, and that is going to score Riker Tom. So we've got ourselves a 2-1 game. So RBI on the single to left field. Johnny Jenkins, the designated hitter, now steps into the plate for his first time. He wears number 23. Played first base yesterday as Lewis was on the hill. Jake Sargent, the pitcher, lefty versus righty. He throws it back over to Lewis. Lewis gets back without even needing to slide. So the count 1-0, 2 outs. All runs so far have come on 2 outs for both sides. Jenkins looks and takes the first called strike. Game brought to you in part by Academy Mortgage. Also InfoWest, our title sponsor for today's games, both 3A baseball and 3A softball. 2-1 count. Sargent looking over to Lewis. Hard foul ball by Jenkins for a 2-2 count. Jenkins has spent a lot of time on the base paths the last couple of days. Walked twice yesterday and also a single. 2-2 count. Little blooper to second base, and that is going to end the inning for the Redmen. Redmen get one back. It's 2-1 after one. We'll be back after this.
For you, bronze package. Triple the price, doubles the contract.
You want a big muscle?
You want a big muscle?
I make your little muscle into big muscle.
Say no to gym intimidation. Say yes to Planet Fitness. We're not a gym, we're Planet Fitness.
Your locally owned and operated Planet Fitness is a proud sponsor of our amazing high school athletic programs.
Top of the second inning. Snow Canyon, third baseman Isaac Rhea. Game brought to you by Academy Mortgage. Matt Hickman and his crew. Matt Hickman, a former Warrior baseball player. He is probably going to be here today, written on his team. Tyler Carasosa on the hill for Cedar. Gave up 3 hits in that first inning and 2 runs. Liner into center field, and it's going to go in the gap, and Rhea's going to head into second base with a stand-up double. So for the second consecutive inning, the leadoff hitter gets on base, which will now bring up Logan Opdahl. He's been playing center field for the Warriors. And a shot to first base, and he is going to be put out. There we go. Looks like we had a little video issues there, but good to be back with you here. Jacob Fry hit by a pitch. Now Jake Sargent for the second time up. So runners on first and third, 1 out. Outside corner for a called strike. Sargent single his first time up and scored. Outside fastball doesn't quite catch the corner, 2-1. see what they do here. Runners at first and third. Nice opportunity to possibly try to steal. Shot to first. The play's going to come at home, and a beautiful throw that time at home. And Rhea is a great play by Lewis. Sargent gets on a fielder's choice. So that is going to put runners at first and second. But boy, a heads-up play that time by Brecken Lewis as he was charging and thought he had a beat on it. And great tag by Boyer as well. So that saves a run, and now 2 outs. One ball, no strike to Deming. Deming, Esplin to the second baseman to end the inning. So after 1.5, it is still 2-1 with Cedar coming up in the bottom half of the second inning.
We love purchase business in our office. This is, in our branch, this is what we strive to do, is we want to be number one in purchases. And we recognize that realtors, builders, affinity partners, they play a large role and a key role in making us successful. So we try to do everything we can to be able to deliver on our promises, to create events or opportunities to be able to just stay in front of them and to get to know them and just be a part of their business. We treat it as a true partnership.
Third base for Cedar. He was the designated hitter yesterday in the loss to Pineview.
Back to live play. Dusty Hanna draws a walk. Which brings up Ryan Slack. Slack has just had a tremendous year this year, batting well over 400 on the year, over 450 actually. So lefty-righty matchup. And Slack cannot catch up on that fastball. Now 0-2. Bottom of the second. Cedar has just 2 hits, but they have scored 1 run on it. Again, pretty big factor where they left a dozen runners on base yesterday. So they want to maximize any opportunity they can when they get somebody on base. Because we have seen that Snow Canyon has been wearing out the base paths in this tournament. Slack, shot out to foul ball out of play. So still 0-2. Slack, tough day yesterday against Pineview, 0-4. Takes a called high fastball for ball 1. Sargent, left-handed pitch, shot right over the shortstop, and that will advance Hannah to second base, and Slack settles at first place with a nice single, which is going to bring up Braden Lassen. Lassen had got on base a couple of times, once by a hit pitch, one time through a base on balls. So Sargent versus Sargent conversation at the plate. Lassen, the left fielder. So great opportunity here on the 3rd hit for Cedar in the game, with no outs and runners on first and second for the right-handed hitter Lassen. He lays down a bunt to the right side. That's going to advance both runners, and Lassen is put out at first base, but exactly what he wanted to do there. So runners go to second and third. Which brings up the pitcher, Kyler Carasosa. Left-handed batter Carasosa. And he strokes it to the second baseman. That's going to be enough to score a run. Hannah scores. So a 4-3 put up, but it is an RBI, and that puts Slack over to third base. Now tying the game at 2 apiece. So again, Cedar making plays happen today, and I'm sure that was one of the comments Felsted said, is it's going to struggle here as Boyer is going to be able to get on base. Right in between first and second. Neither one of the players can come up with it, and Boyer was able to outrun both players anyway. And he would have been safe regardless if they'd have came up with it, because he beat Sargent to the bag anyway. Now speed up runner as Boyer will go back and get on the tools of the trade as he's the catcher. So RBI for Boyer, scoring Slack. Which gives Cedar their first lead at 3-2. 3 runs on 6 hits, and boy, and Riker, Tom now stepping to the plate after a first inning double that he later scored on. He scored the first run of the game for the Redmen.
Runner at first. 2 outs now for the Redmen. And it's Riker Tom at the plate. Redmen lead it 3-2. Fastball off.
I would have to think Coach Erica Fieldstead, after that Pineview game yesterday, leaving a dozen runners on base, said, hey, we were right there. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and these kind of games we'll bounce back and get some runs. And sure enough, today, they have been able to get runners on and score them. Now 3 runs in this, still with the 1 out to go here. Another 2-out rally potential.
Power hitter, a gap hitter for the Cedar Redmen. Second in the state in triples. At least at the end of the season.
Tom
And he takes a fastball.
takes a fastball, and he will walk on base as well.
Is going to be Trey Esper.
So he gets on for the second time today. That moves Boyer to second base, and Trey Esplin, who flew out to the left fielder on his first at bat.
Looked like a pretty good pitch and a great spot against a power hitter.
Having a brief meeting at the mound, and the left-handed hitter Esplin visits with his coach as well. We'll see if they shift the defense over to the right side here a little bit.
Conversation on the mound involving Coach Secret and the 2 sergeants, pitcher and catcher. 4 hits apiece.
Game brought to you by Dr. Robert Prince, an orthodontist here in St. George.
And Trey Espen will step in from the
Strong supporter of athletics here in the Washington County area.
outfield, at least the left field.
So the left-handed hitter, left-handed pitcher. Everybody playing pretty well straight on for Esplin. Curveball up the middle, and that is going to bring Boyer in. Here's the throw, and it is well short, and Boyer scores from second.
On the throw to home. So it's going to go down as a single and then moving to second
So
base on
Esplin on the single RBI.
Cedar's taking a 4-2 lead.
Now Tom goes to third. So we are seeing this Redmond team play the kind of games that they wanted to play yesterday, and now have opened up a 4-2 edge, and they are going to just let Brecken go ahead and Brecken Lewis go ahead and walk. They didn't even want to mess with his bat. Good move that time, and they're willing to load up the bases under those circumstances. Keep the bat away from him, so an intentional walk. Now with the bases loaded for Johnny Jenkins.
Brady Sargent setting up off the outside corner. The first pitch is fouled back against the screen. Big chance for a slug of RBI here.
Wow. So Riker Tom at third, Esplin second, Brecken Lewis at first for the Redmen. Bases loaded. Slow change up to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
So Brecken Lewis comes to the plate with runners at first and second and third, and they issue the intentional walk, and now bases loaded, and Johnny Jenkins
Swing and a miss for Jenkins.
had a fastball on the outside corner. 1-2 to count on Johnny.
Jenkins the 9th batter in the order.
Johnny on the year.
2 outs. Exactly the type of inning that the Redmen needed. Backhand shot to first base, and they are able to get out of that with 3 base runners left on base, but not after they scored 3 runs. As Cedar now takes the lead 4-2 here on the Deseret News and KSL.com.
Our game today is sponsored by Dr. Robert Prince. Dr. Prince is the orthodontist that gives your high school something to really smile about. His office is located at 754 South Main Street in St. George. Call Dr. Prince for a free consultation and find out how easy and affordable it is to straighten your smile.
We feel that when clients come to us, the most important thing up front is to take the stress out of a highly stressful environment, to be able to create transparency and to create a relationship of trust where they know that we're going to take care of them every step of the way. That's what's most important to us. And in the end, we've delivered on our promises.
We are at the bottom of the third inning. Snow Canyon gets a run back, with the score now 4-3. Get one run back, and Snow Canyon needs to try to put the defense on a little bit better, as Cedar has scored in both the first and second innings, including 3 runs in the second inning. Dusty Hanna, who walked the first time and scored, will step up to the plate at the bottom of the to lead things off in the bottom of the third.
On a base on ball. 4-3 Redmond here as we move into the bottom of the third inning.
Cedar with 4 runs on 5 hits, and let's make that 6 hits on the first pitch. Just like that, a rope to left field by Hanna.
Just like that, a runner on for Cedar. And coming to the plate now, it's going to be Ryan Slack.
Which will bring Slack to the plate. He's 1 for 1 on a single. He also scored the 3rd run of the game today for the Redmen. This game brought to you in part by Washington City Community Center. First pitch popped up. Nobody able to pull that in. 3 players close, but still couldn't get to that one. And all it is a long strike.
So it's 0-1 on Ryan Slack for the runner at first base.
So the left-handed Jake Sargent throws to Slack, and a little bit of a check swing. 0-2 now the count.
Strike 2, call. Slack working out of an 0-2 hole now with a runner at first. Nobody on. Bottom of the third inning. Redmond leading at 4-3. And he takes the fastball high and away for ball 1. Count on Slack, the delivery from Sargent, fastball outside. Thank you. 2-2 now the count on Ryan Slack.
2-2 the count. 4-3. Redmen up by 1 run. Shot down third, but foul.
On the ground down third base side. So 2-2 count on Ryan Slack now. Cedar leading at 4-3.
Runner at first, 2-2.
Sargent delivers and the fastball.
Sargent inside loads up the count, 3-2. Braden Lassen on deck for the Redmen. Curveball, and fouled once again by Slack. He's getting a good look at whatever Sargent's throwing. So Dusty Hanna at first base for Coach Eric Fieldstead. Shot to the shortstop. Is it going to be enough for two? There's one. And the relay to first, not in time. 6-4 put out for the lead runner. That puts Slack on first base. Now Braden Lassen, who laid down a bunt last time to advance both runners that were on base at that time. Lassen, the left fielder. First pitch, called strike. Shot back down to first, and they say he is out. Wow. Ryan Slack. Slack picked off a great backhanded tag by Staley. And just like that, base is cleared and 2 outs. For a 2-2 count for Lassen. Left-handed Sargent throws a fastball and swing and a miss, and that is going to do it. So just like that, with a couple of runners on base, they come away with nothing. 4-3 Cedar in between innings. We'll be back after this.
Our game today is sponsored by Dr. Robert Prince. Dr. Prince is the orthodontist that gives your high school something to really smile about. His office is located at 754 South Main Street in St. George. Call Dr. Prince for a free consultation and find out how easy and affordable it is to straighten your smile.
Back to live action, top of the fourth, Brucehurst Field, Dixie State University. On the Deseret News, KSL.com. InfoWest, our title sponsor today. See their logo in the upper left-hand corner. Rhea, who batted this last inning, but will bat again because of the put-out that was made at first base. Hits a first pitch fly out to the center fielder for out number 1.
Isaac Ray takes the first pitch on a fly ball to center field. It's caught by Brock Oldroyd for out number 1.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Logan Opdahl.
Coming to the plate now, number
He hit a little dribbler to the pitcher his first time at bat. Shot over to Lewis.
stepping over into foul.
Lewis makes it look easy.
Lewis for the out.
So 2 up, 2 down. On just a couple of pitches. Total of 3. Now Jacob Fry, who was hit by a pitch his first time at bat, hits the outside corner for strike 1. Fry, high. Now we'll see who finally, left fielder finally calls off the shortstop. Lassen pulls it in, so 1, 2, 3. Very easy inning for the Redmen. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. We'll keep it here. See who we have coming up for the home team, Cedar Redmond. It's going to be the pitcher, Kyler Carrizosa. Again, game brought to you today by Beehive Rental. Catch them with your needs in the St. George, Washington County area. They are helping us over at the 3A softball, giving our cameraman a nice place to stand there for those games over there. Check them out. Boy, what a beautiful day here in St. George. No real threat, a lot of clouds out in the sky, but no threat of any rain today. And we have had lightning strikes and rain. It's been an interesting weekend here in Utah's Dixie. Also, Bob Prince, Dr. Prince, orthodontist here in the St. George area. Give him a call for your orthodontia needs. And for just $10 a month, no lengthy commitment, Planet Fitness. 7 locations throughout Utah. So the left-handed Kyler Carrizosa is going to face a new pitcher, as Grisinti. And this is where this could get a little bit interesting. So 0-2 count very quickly to Carrizosa. So Sargent pitches pitches 3 complete innings. Grisinti now takes the hill. And this is, again, as we mentioned, it gets a little interesting right now because the Snow Canyon team had to come through that losers bracket or the consolation bracket. There are no losers here. And makes it a little bit more difficult because of the limited number of innings that they can pitch. And that might have been the situation with Sargent. And we may see even more substitutions here in this as the game progresses here. 4-3, Cedar ahead, bottom of the 4th. Both teams have 6 hits apiece. Carrizosa hanging in there tough. Leadoff batter in the 4th. 2-2 and swing, and he is able to foul that off once again. And he goes down swinging for the opening out in the 4th, bottom of the 4th inning. Now the top of the order. Pitcher now defers to catcher Josh Boyer, who has flown out to center field and hit an RBI single his second time at bat and also scored in the 2nd inning. So we have one out. Haven't seen Grisenti pitch yesterday or on Thursday. Fastball high. So now 2-1 the count.
And the 2-1 pitch on the way. In the dirt, ball 3. Cedar losing yesterday to
Boyer with a big RBI, his last at bat. Boyer is going to instead walk this time. So he will be on base once again. Riker Tom, who hit a shot his first time up for a stand-up double and then walked the second time. Looks down and signals at Eric Fieldstead, manager for the Redmen. He steps out of the box and asks the coach to go through the signals again. So we'll see if there's something going on here. Tom, first pitch, turns on it, hits it foul, which will take Boyer back to first base, or the speed-up runner, I should say.
0-1 the count on Riker. Riker has a double and a base on ball so far in the ball game. Fastball,
Boy, just low there.
ball
1-1. Tom wanted to take a crack at that one, but felt like it was a little outside, but it was still a called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crescenti in his first inning pitching today for Snow Canyon. Shot past the freshman Deming, and that will get Tom on base and moving the Boyer runner to first base. So nice shot that time by Tom, with runners on first and second. And the difference really of today's game for Cedar and yesterday's, they've been able to capitalize when they've had runners on base. 7th hit today for Cedar. So runners first and second, just one out. The left-handed Trey Esplin steps onto the first base side of the home plate. Esplin, first pitch, outside corner, strike 1. Crucial this time for Snow Canyon to do what they can to get Esplin out, because power hitter Brecken Lewis on deck just lick at his chops. 1-1 the count. Snow Canyon would love to turn a double play here and get out of this inning. Esplin goes opposite field, and it's going to go right. Is it? It is foul. Boy, just barely, and couldn't quite see the angle umpire right on top of that, but we were a little bit in the shadows, so tough call that time, but the accurate one. That would have certainly scored Boyer. Deep shot down the left field line. Boyer had a nice jump on that, and he was already had passed third base on that, so easily would have scored there. So Esplin hitting left-handed this time. Outside pitch. Fastball 2-2 to count now.
Okay, 2-2 the count. And Esplin at the plate. Runners on board. And Brad Crescenti, the right-hander, will deliver, and it misses
Low.
outside, so
Full count.
run full on Trey Esplin. Payoff pitch on the way with 1 out, and
Here's a payoff pitch.
Brad Crescenti will turn
Crescenti goes back to second base. Boyer able to slide back in there, just barely in time. We have sure seen a lot of people be thrown out on the base pass today and yesterday. So full count, 1 out, 2 on. Esplin right through the first and second baseman. That's going to score Boyer.
moving into third base is Riker Tom, an RBI single for Trey Esplin, his second of the ballgame.
So RBI single for Esplin. Boy, great hit right there by Esplin to score Boyer. That puts Tom at third, and Esplin sitting there at by himself at first. Still just 1 out. And this was the situation last time when Brecken Lewis was up, and they just automatically let him take a base on balls, but they do not appear to do it this time. Now 5-3. Bottom of the 4th. Cedar has been quite consistent today in getting some runs when they've had people on base.
Steps back in. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes the
Crescenti, curveball.
Riker Tom at third. Trey Esplin at first after the RBI single. Josh Boyer
So Riker Tom sitting on third. Trey Esplin on first.
3 Cedar, bottom of the 4th. And here comes the pitch.
Foul away.
Fans, please help us with foul balls. Once again, return foul balls to the dugouts. Thank you.
2-1 the count on Brecken Lewis.
Lewis with
Crescenti delivers
great power, and again another foul ball out of play.
beyond the stands and out of the stadium. Handcuff
Lewis did a nice job earlier in the game, and he from his first baseman spot
count now on Brecken.
threw a runner out at home plate.
Cedar with a 5-3 lead here in the bottom of the 4th. Brad Crescenti will turn and throw to first base, chasing Trey Esplin back.
Throw back to first.
It was almost a decoy move. Crescenti was paying all of his attention to third base, never looked at first, and then wheeled it through.
Here's a pitch from Crescenti. Up the middle, and is it going to be a fight at second base? And Esplin is able to sneak in time. That is still going to score Riker Tom.
But not in time for the out, so 1 run is in.
Now batting for Cedar, the designated hitter, number 23.
So do they give a little bit of a struggle? Do they give a hit on that? Is that a base hit?
Very slow rolling ball, and that's what benefited Brecken Lewis was the fact that it took so long to get there. I'm scoring it as an RBI. Now the official scores it
We're going to give Lewis an RBI single on that. Now Jenkins pops one out to the right fielder. Runner tags and then holds up. For out number 2. Dusty Hanna will step to the plate. The right fielder walked the first time and hit a single his second time up here. But boy, 2 runs already
3 straight singles, in fact. And a line out to
for Cedar as they have doubled up the Warriors here in the bottom of the 4th.
at the plate is Dusty Hanna, and he fouls the first pitch back behind home plate. Cedar leading 6-3 now.
Wow.
Dusty with an 0-1
Don't give up on this Warrior team, though. They have been awfully hot with the bat.
to second base.
And a beautiful shot there to the second baseman, and he is able to
Base for the out.
quickly by Dulce to get the ball over to the shortstop for the 3rd out. And boy, that little play might be exactly what the Warriors need to kind of get things back going here. We'll be back right after these messages here. After 4, 6-3 Redmond. Top of the 5th inning, and it's time for the Warriors to get those bats a-rolling. Jake Sargent, who pitched 3 innings and then moved over to first place as he traded spots with Krasinski. His the second pitch, hot shot to the first baseman, but Lewis able to take care of it unassisted for out number 1.
Shortstop number 10, Austin Deming.
Carasosa doing a nice job on the mound. Now in the top of the 5th inning, he's given up 6 hits.
Unassisted for out number 1 already in the top of the 5th. And there's a 1-1 count.
Austin Deming,
Austin Deming.
just a freshman.
2-1 count. Carasosa delivers, hard hit. Sinking line drive is going to get down.
And Deming knocks it into left field
Take it on the hop is Lassen, and Deming is
for a
out
single.
with a single, his second of the ball game.
Now batting for Snow Canyon, the catcher, number 25, Brady Sargent.
So Deming with his second hit of the game.
Leading at 6-3, and Brady Sargent steps in against Tyler Carasosa. The fastball misses outside.
And Brady Sargent batting 3rd in the lineup today. The catcher has been a little quiet. He's not been really had a chance to unloose here. This is certainly the time for Sargent to get something going. As Deming fake like it was going to go, the toss by Boyer gets behind Lewis, and that will advance Deming to second base.
First error of the ball game. 2-0 the count on Sargent. So Deming, the runner at second base now with 1 out, and a 2-0 count on Sargent, and a big swing, and strike 1. My goodness, what a cut on that one.
Sargent, big swing there. So runner at second. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Lefty-righty matchup. Now 3-1. Sargent looking for something to hit and unloads it. A couple of shots to Esplin, to second, to first for the second out. But that does advance Deming. With the cleanup hitter, Nick Dulce, coming to the plate. Dulce has scored 2 times today. A single his last time at plate. We have seen a lot of runs with 2 outs today. The left-handed Dulce, left-handed hitting Dulce at the plate looks at and takes ball 1. Deming at third. Second pitch, in for a called strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 1-2 now the count.
1-2 the count with 2 gone here in the top of the 5th inning. Not many punch outs in the ball game. Carazzo delivers the fastball low and away.
Fastball low and away, 2-2.
Just 2 strikeouts in the ball game for
Carasosa doing a nice job on the mound. Has recorded 2 strikeouts today, but now with runner at third with 2 outs. Swing and a miss, and boy, Dulce goes down swinging. Huge for the 3rd strikeout today. Wow. We'll be back right after these messages here on Deseret News at KSL.com.
We love purchase business in our office. This is, in our branch, this is what we strive to do, is we want to be number 1 in purchases. And we recognize that realtors, builders, affinity partners, they play a large role and a key role in making us successful. So we strive to do everything we can to be able to deliver on our promises, to create events or opportunities to be able to just stay in front of them and to get to know them and just be a part of their business. We treat it as a true partnership.
Bottom of 5 for the Redmen. They lead 6-3, 9 hits for Cedar as opposed to 7 for Snow Canyon. Warriors left a man on base on that inning. Able to get, have now scored now in the last 2 innings, and boy, as hot as they have been with the bats, that's a little bit of a surprise. Certainly not out of it though. It's bottom of the 5th. Ryan Slack has been on a couple of times today, a single and a fielder's choice. He is facing Grisenti again, who's now in his 2nd inning of work for Snow Canyon on the mound. Foul ball shot down the 3rd baseline. There, Coach Eric Felstead takes care of that.
Okay, we're back in the bottom of the 5th.
Swing and a miss for Slack. And he goes down swinging. Out 1. First strikeout for Grisenti.
So coming to the plate now.
Braden Lassen sacrificed his first at bat on a beautiful bunt to advance 2 runners, and then struck out last time in the 3rd inning. Boy, Grisenti not taking enough time to do anything. Now a check swing, and it's going to just go to Grisenti, and he will get the put out. So a half swing that time, and not the type of bat Lassen wanted to have, but he shares a couple of thoughts with Carasosa of what to look for from Grisenti. Grisenti wants to play very, very fast right now. Pineview Panthers now have made it to Bruce Hurst Field. They're going to be in the championship game, loosening up. We'll have that game around 11 o'clock today. Grisenti, boy, he just gets the ball, gets the signal, tosses it. I can't keep up with it. Balls and strikes, 2-2. Now full count. Carasosa stays out of the batter's box just for a little bit, trying to throw off the timing here of Grisenti. Pitch, stroke out to left field. Beautiful shot that time. Pitcher on pitcher. A 2-out single. It'll bring the top of the lineup, Josh Boyer. Speed up runner will be Jaden Pickett, senior. As Carasosa will get ready to get back on the hill again. So 2 outs.
A discussion between Coach Seacrest and the home plate umpire, and now we're set to go. Josh Boyer steps in. 6-3 Cedar, and
Boyer takes the swing at the first pitch, foul. Strike one. Strike 0-2. Pickett on first base. Takes about a 2-step lead and decides to go. Bad throw into second, and it goes out to center field. And Pickett is able to go from first to third on that. Boy, just got away from Sargent on that. So now, even a bigger threat now for Boyer. Boyer hits it up the middle. Is that going to do it? See, he is safe at first, and that is going to score the run. I think Boyer had it beat out anyway. The throw goes into the dugout, so RBI, and then he is going to go to first base. I think Boyer had it anyway. I think Boyer's speed, he was flying down that line. So Cedar tacks on the 7th run of the game. Which brings up Riker Tom, who is 2 for 2, and Tom's first pitch hits it deep into center field, but that able to be caught by Opdahl, and that will do it. But once again, Cedar comes back with another run to increase this lead to 7-3.
Say no to gym intimidation. Say yes to Planet Fitness. We're not a gym, we're Planet Fitness.
Your locally owned and operated Planet Fitness is a proud sponsor of our amazing high school athletic programs.
It has been the Cedar Redmond playing by far more aggressive and the better game today against Snow Canyon. The 7-3 lead. At the top of the 6th, Grisenti is able to beat out the throw. Little shot to where where Trey Esplin had to try to cover a lot of ground and then got the throw over just a hair too late, and that'll put Grisenti on the on first base. Now he'll have a speed up runner, as he is a courtesy runner, as he is a pitcher. That brings up Chance Thorkelson. RBI single his last at bat. Carasosa still on the mound for Cedar as we open up the top of the 6th inning. Shot to second, could be 2, and instead just having a struggle with 1, and barely gets thrown out there. Unable to turn 2. That will be the first out and the second, with runner on second base and 1 out for the Warriors. Got to get something rolling now. They are down to 5 outs left. Isaac Rhea, 1 for 2. He hit a double his first time at bat, and then got thrown out at home. Left-handed pitch by Kyler Carazosa, ball 1. Called strike. Outfield shading to right field. Off-speed pitch for the second strike. Again, we're at Bruce Hurst Field, Dixie State University, for today's 3A semifinals. Winner will just stay in the dugout and get ready to face Pineview. Fouled behind home plate by Ray. Pineview has won both of their games, once on Thursday, once on Friday, against the Cedar team yesterday. Cedar would love to have another crack at them. Cedar, the last team to defeat Pineview, that was but way back on April 24th. So we are looking at a potential very impressive rematch in which they will be playing each other for potentially the 4th time this season. Foul away from Rhea. Count is 2-2 instead of 1-2. Grisenti on second base, or at least a speed up runner for him. Here's the inside pitch, fastball, loading up the count.
Kyler
3-2, Ray, high, pop up. It's going to go over to Esplin at second base, and he settles underneath it for the second out. Pineview now down to 4 outs. Excuse me, Snow Canyon now down to 4 outs.
So you heard the announcement.
Ike Jorgensen
for Logan Updahl.
now a replacement batter. Jorgensen wearing number 27,
There's 2 outs here, top of the 6th.
the senior reserve first baseman.
Pitch here. 7-3 Cedar.
Again, just one of those advantages of being maybe a little bit more fresh. Cedar has only played, as we have mentioned, 2 games in this tournament. Snow Canyon has played 4 games in this tournament. Coming into today's game, coming through the consolation bracket, has been the Warriors. And Cedar won their first game against Carbon, and then a loss yesterday to Pineview. And I think they look a little bit more fresh, and I think that has helped them today. 12 hits so far for the Redmen, as opposed to 7 for Snow Canyon, who has, as we have mentioned multiple times, has really had a hot bat into this tournament. They've averaged 11 runs a game till today, and now they are just at 3. Jorgensen swing and a miss. Two outs, runners at second.
Looks back to second base and delivers to
And, ooh, boy, that was ball 3, awfully close there.
So a 3-1 hitters count now for Ike Jorgensen against Kyler Carrizosa. 2 outs. Here comes
Pitch to Jorgensen, swing, foul ball, back to the backstop.
have to bring the payoff pitch with a 3-2.
Ike ready for that one, looking for the fastball and didn't quite get what he wanted on that. Big kid is young Jorgensen.
Second, Ike Jorgensen with the full count. And here's the pitch from Kyler.
And he cannot get around on that, as that will end the inning. Huge play that time. What a pitch by Carrizosa. We'll be back for the bottom of the 6th right after the
Our game today is sponsored by Dr. Robert Prince. Dr. Prince is the orthodontist that gives your high school something to really smile about. His office is located at 754 South Main Street in St. George. Call Dr. Prince for a free consultation and find out how easy and affordable it is to straighten your smile.
bottom of the 6th inning, pitching change for Snow Canyon. Sophomore Stockton Sorden, left-handed pitcher, steps in behalf of Grisenti.
Warriors will get that to you after this pitch. First pitch is in. 4 strike 1 call.
And number 5, Trey Esplin, will lead things off. Had an RBI single in his last 2 at-bats, so he is 2 for 2 and 2 RBIs for Esplin. He has played a big game, both offensively and defensively today. fouled away. Brings the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 consecutive innings of goose eggs for the Warriors. Give a lot of credit to this Redmond team. Another pitch to Esplin, and he hits it about in the same spot. So now 1-2 to Esplin. Played a nice game in the field as well today. Esplin again, boy, he likes going to that left side. Outfield still playing him very straight away. And he drills it into the left side again. Boy, they saw it enough times, and he's able to get his 3rd hit of the game. Just took that pitch and went right in between the shortstop and third baseman. Neither one of them even moved toward it because it was such a automatic shot to left field. That brings up Big Brecken Lewis. He is 2 for 2 today as well, and a walk, an intentional walk. First pitch, Lewis, could be 2, and it is. They turn that quickly. Nice job, nice turn. And so Lewis very quickly clears the bases out on that.
The designated hitter, number 23, Johnny Jenkins.
So Johnny Jenkins steps to the plate. Likely his last appearance in this game. 0 for 3 today. Swing and a miss. Cedar has been consistent, scoring in 4 out of the 5 runs so far today. Jenkins, foul ball out of play again. Winner advances to a game at a round scheduled for 11. Jenkins, third base shot, and he is put out. And the Warriors are down to their final 3 outs, and we'll see what they can do as they bring everybody together to start the rally here. And we'll keep it here as well. Jacob Fry is going to lead things off. So we are down to the top of the 7th inning. Cedar with a comfortable 7-3 lead. Jacob Fry, who has been a great 3-sport athlete for the Warriors this year, quarterback, point guard, and now left fielder for the Warriors in baseball, will lead things off. But they are indeed down to 3 outs, and we'll see if they can get something rolling. They've only had 7 hits, and they have not scored in the last 3 innings. And only 1 run since the first inning. Carasosa remains on the hill. First pitch gets away, and for ball 1. Now 2-0 count.
Trailing 7-3 here in the top of the 7th inning. 2-0 count, and Carrizosa will walk and deliver.
Fry with a shot is going to get past Riker Tom and in for a base hit. So exactly what they needed to get the opening batter on base, and they do. So now the top of the order, Jake Sargent, who started out as our pitcher earlier today. And called strike.
Kyler Carrizosa has gone the entire distance so far. Lefty-lefty matchup with Sargent.
Lefty-lefty matchup, second pitch, low and outside for a 1-1 count.
7-3 Cedar leading in the final.
Sargent has been on twice today, a single and on a fielder's choice. Now called strike 2, 1-2 the count. No outs here in the top of the 7th.
Carrizosa delivers.
Outside just a hair. Now 2-2.
So it's 2-2 now the count on Sargent. Runner at first is Fry. A moment ago, base hit through the left side. Scrappy Snow Canyon team has come back so many times, including against Esperance the other night.
Line into center field for the first out. Now Snow Canyon down to 2 outs. Freshman Austin Deming had a nice game today. He steps back to the plate to single his last time up.
Carrizosa delivers the fastball outside, ball 1 against number 10, Austin Deming. Deming with a couple of singles in the ball game as well as a ground out to second base.
And he hits a shot in between the shortstop and third for his third base hit of the day. This is exactly what the Warriors need. They've got a lot of catching up to do, but this is how you do it. You get runners on, and now with runners at first and second, with Big Brady Sargent coming to the plate, and Coach Felstead goes and has a little chat with his infield just to decide what they're going to do. They do have a pitcher warming up in the bullpen.
Capacity crowd here at Bruce Field. Coming up next, the morning has moved on in anticipation of the 11th
taking on the winner of this game. Once again,
Pineview taking on the
taking on the winner of this game.
Cedar losers.
Snow Canyon down to their final 2 outs, but they have 2 runners on. Winner will advance to play Pineview. Game time scheduled for 11 o'clock. Likely going to be about 11:15 possibly. Curveball outside, 1-0. We have just yet to see Sargent really unload on one, but he is very capable. There's a shot in between again, and they hold up the boy. Oh boy, Jacob Fry wanted to go home on that, but he was held up by Coach Seacrest. So now bases loaded. So now we're getting things rolling here. Actually, the tie runner at the plate is Nick Dulce. We'll see what happens here. The fans finally getting into it for the Warriors. The left-handed Dulce up. First pitch high for ball 1. Fry at third, Deming second, Sargent first. Second pitch, foul. Anybody able to get to it? No. Just did not have enough for Boyer or Slack to catch up with that one. So the tying run at the plate. Warriors have not scored since inning number 3. But a great opportunity here for the left-handed Dulce, and he hits another foul ball over out of play. So now 1 and 2, and boy, this can turn really quickly depending on what Dulce does. Pitch for Dulce, fouled out of play for the 3rd consecutive pitch. All going off to this left field side. You'd think maybe the left fielder might shade over to the line a little bit, but he has not so far. Boyer has a little bit of say, whatever he has to say to his battery mate. Slow curveball, hard hit to center. He's going to tag up for the 2nd out, and they allow the run to score, but keep everybody else at 1st and 2nd. So heads up play that time for as Dulce flies out to center field. It is an RBI sacrifice on that. But that keeps Deming at 2nd base. So what was bases loaded. Now, again, 1st and 2nd with 2 outs. Coach Seacrest chatting with the umpire. And maybe we've got, we have Grisenti still at the plate. Grisenti started as a designated hitter, went to pitcher, and now still is hitting as a designated hitter today. Left-handed Carasosa, fly ball, and it is popped up. It's going to be handled by the right fielder, and we've got ourselves a game. So Cedar, final score, 7-4. They will advance to play Pineview in about 20 minutes. So they will probably go a little bit later again. So Mike Butler will be back after a little bit of a break for the championship game here in 3A baseball.